Look, this is a really historic agreement, and it has been a long time in the making, about 8 years of fairly grueling negotiations. So very exciting that it was signed on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit over the weekend. For Australia, this is really positive news, and it offers a platform for dealing with China in a multilateral setting. So it will offer a new kind of space to be engaging with Chinese officials and businesses as the regional economic comprehensive partnership really is all about facilitating a single set of rules for trade and investment right across the Asia-Pacific region. So it is really important. It's important for Australia and China, but it goes well beyond that.
And I guess rules being the key word there, and we know that there have been sanctions after sanctions on a number of Australian products being banned from China. If China now doesn't drop its sanctions, does it beg the question that what is the actual point of these free trade deals?
No, and I think we've actually got to look at this big regional free trade agreement quite separately in some ways from the Australia-China bilateral relationship. It sits within it, but as a regional agreement, this is far more important. It has certainly been a win for China. China's been supportive of this agreement from the very beginning, and set against a backdrop of US withdrawal from trading arrangements in the Asia-Pacific region. You know, this signals for China a sense of being a responsible stakeholder, looking out for liberalising markets, for open trade. So from that perspective, I think China will certainly leverage this as a win. But I think more importantly, this is about opening up opportunities for trade and investment right across the region. For Australia, it is good in terms of its relationship with China. It won't necessarily resolve any of the particular difficulties we're seeing at the moment, but it does offer a platform for discussions on a whole range of issues. More importantly, it offers an opportunity for broader diversified trade with the nations of Southeast Asia. And I think when you think of this region, particularly Southeast Asia, as one of the most dynamic regions in the world, that's really important.
And what can Southeast Asia in particular, what can that offer Australia?
Well, in particular, I think the significant thing about this arrangement is that it essentially bundles a whole lot of bilateral free trade arrangements that Australia had entered into with ASEAN nations, but also with other nations in the region, including China, as well as Japan and Korea. Essentially, though all of these free trade arrangements become bundled into one. So it essentially frees up trade right across the region. It means that a number of the kind of intricate details about how we work with countries will be standardised for the region. So it offers far greater benefits for Australian businesses seeking to work across a number of countries in the region. It also, supports a kind of rules-based approach to trade facilitation that works in Australia's interests. It's what the Foreign Policy White Paper has called for. It's really what Australia has been looking for in terms of setting up rules for trade in our region. And it actually will make things much better for complex value systems and value chains in the region, where we can start to see much freer movement of goods right through a supply chain, where that previously barriers have, caused some problems for those supply chains. So it's a win-win for a number of reasons, particularly for Australia. It's good that Australia is in this agreement.